One of the most common complaints I hear in my practice is I am so exhausted. No matter how much sleep I get, I just can never feel like I've caught up on my rest. And a big reason for that could be chronic viruses. And so today I want to teach you a little bit about viruses in general, but specifically one in particular that we see a lot of here called Epstein-Barr virus, or EBV for short. So I'm going to teach you 5 things that I want you to know about EBV. First of all, what is EBV? Well, it is a virus. It's a virus within the herpes family. The herpes family is a big family of viruses with multiple different characters, kind of like the royal family. They're all one family, but there's multiple different characters within this family. Herpes simplex 1 causes cold sores. Herpes zoster causes shingles. And human herpes 4 is what EBV is, and it often causes what we call mono. When we are in high school or college, we can get mono, or the so-called kissing disease, because it's spread through contact. So it's a virus within the herpes family. Well, what are viruses in general? They're infectious agents that make us sick, and there are literally hundreds of viruses in the environment. We're exposed to them all the time, and our immune system generally protects us. The thing is, viruses continually shift just slightly so they can kind of get past our immune defenses, which is why each year there's a different flu vaccine, or we get the latest strain of the cold, or even COVID that's going around. So viruses are continually in our environment. We're always exposed. The best defense against any virus is having a strong, healthy immune system. But even then, sometimes we do get sick, and EBV is something that I see extremely commonly. So 95% of the population has probably been exposed by the time they're an adult, but it can be a chronic problem for a lot of the people that I work with. So how do we know if it's a chronic problem? This is the second thing I want you to know. How do I know if I have it? Well, first of all, we need to do the right test. And there is a blood test, a very specific blood test called Epstein-Barr virus early antigen antibody. I know that's a mouthful. You don't need to really worry about it. What you need to find is somebody who knows how to test properly. Unfortunately, many doctors don't test for chronic EBV because they don't believe it's a thing. And if they do test, they look at antibodies that are always elevated. So they say, well, everybody has it. It doesn't mean anything. We have to do the right test. That's the first way we know if we have it. But the second way is just simply your symptoms. And I want to share some of the common symptoms that I see my patients who have chronic EBV. One of the biggest is recurring fatigue. But what I mean by that is that it's cyclical. There are periods of time where you have really severe, profound fatigue, and other times you feel pretty good. In other words, it's not there all the time. That's one of the most common symptoms of chronic EBV. When it activates or flares up, we get extreme profound fatigue. When it goes dormant again, we can feel pretty good for a while. So fatigue is a big one. There's a whole long list of other symptoms that can be associated with EBV. Real commonly, we can get sore throat or inflammation in our throat. We can get swollen lymph nodes in the neck, and the glands in the neck can be swollen. You can get heavy eyes. You can get ringing in your ears. You can get canker sores in your mouth. You can have joint pain. You can have skin problems or rashes. You can have liver problems because it can affect your liver, and it can even affect your blood counts. So there's a lot of different symptoms. The best way to know if you have it, though, is to do the proper blood test. Here's the third thing I want you to know about EBV. Where did I get it? People wonder once they find out that they have chronic EBV, well, where did I get it? Who gave it to me? When did I get it? Well, this kind of goes back to my first point, which is this virus is very ubiquitous. That means it's everywhere. Almost all of us have been exposed to it. Unfortunately, there's no way that I can tell when someone got it from lab testing or who they got it from. It's almost like going to church and coming home with a cold and saying, well, who gave me this cold? It's impossible to know because so many people probably exposed you to it. Well, it's similar with EBV. So most of us have been exposed early in life. It can even be transmitted prenatally, which means a mother who has EBV can transmit it to her baby before the baby is even born. So that question isn't very helpful. We can just move on. Don't worry about where you got it. Don't worry about who gave it to you. Just learn how to control it. And that's the fifth thing we're going to cover. But first, number 4, what causes EBV? If it's a chronic virus, it stays in your system. What causes it to reactivate? What causes it to flare up? Well, that's a whole long list of symptoms. But at the very top of that list is probably stress. When we become very, very stressed out, it kind of suppresses our immune system, which then allows the virus to rear its ugly head, start replicating in your system and creating all these symptoms and havoc. It creates lots of inflammation, which is driving a lot of these symptoms. So stress is a big one. Your diet is another big one, and in particular, sugar. When we eat sugar, there's research that shows within 2 hours, our immune system is suppressed for up to 6 hours. So our diet has a big effect on our immune system, and that in turn allows, again, this virus to reactivate. There's a lot of other things that can contribute to a reactivation or basically an activation of this virus, but those are kind of the two, I would say, most common ones that I see. There's others too, but let's think about those. So here's the fifth thing. Number 5 that I want you to know about EBV is, what can I do about it? If you start Googling EBV and chronic EBV, it can become a scary rabbit hole that you can go down that says there's no hope, there's no help, and that's just simply not true. What is true is that we cannot just simply go in and kill or eradicate the virus. But what we can do, which is bringing so much hope to the table, is learn how to support and heal our immune system and our nervous system so that our body becomes more resilient and more resistant to EBV reactivation or any other virus for that matter. And so there are many, many ways that we can teach your body how to do this. There are many, many ways we can support your immune system. Of course, proper rest is important. Proper nutrition is important. And there are some very specific things about nutrition that either help or sometimes hurt when it comes to fighting EBV. There are many specific antiviral supplements that can help. Reducing our exposures to toxins and EMFs and things like that can help. But there's way too much for me to cover in this short video. I just want you to know there's hope. Now, if you think you might have EBV, or you already know that you have chronic EBV, or maybe you have another chronic virus, you're struggling with long COVID or something similar to that, all the strategies that we teach about dealing with EBV help with other viruses too. And I'm super excited to tell you that I'm offering a 4-week. It's a 4-week EBV challenge, and you are invited. Everyone is invited to join this challenge. So it's going to be on Monday nights for 1 hour for 4 weeks. That's it. It's going to be super short and to the point. The purpose here is to help you learn more, but not just to learn more, to learn strategies, things you can put into action right now to understand what's going on and what you can do to turn it around. So the link to register for the challenge is right below. And along with that challenge comes an online course that we built that really delves deep into supporting viruses. And I would encourage you to enroll in that too, but it's not required. So the link for both is right down below. I hope this video was super helpful. A lot of my patients are dealing with EBV, and we have seen tremendous turnarounds when people learn how to support themselves. I'll see you in the challenge.